What's up, guys? This is the 22nd segment in my overall campaign, excuse me, of Godzilla Dissection. Today I'm covering Godzilla Raids Again, or as it's known in Japan, Counterattack of Godzilla, and as it was originally known in America, Gigantus, the freaking fire monster. Oh yeah. This movie was released in Japan April 24th, 1955. And it came out in America, I believe, 1959. So a little bit of a gap there. This was the immediate sequel to the first film, and the only other black and white Godzilla movie. This movie came out basically around 5 months, literally not even a year, not even half a year, literally 5 months after the first film had been released, November 3rd, 1954. So it's pretty obvious not to say magic was behind this movie, and it shows very, very much. First off, I want to thank Classic Media, because without them I would not have seen this production. And yeah, that goes for a lot of movies of the Godzilla franchise. They released it in a very gorgeous looking DVD box, and yeah, it was fantastic. And when I watched the commentary, it gave me a lot of insight. This movie is probably most popularly known, anyways, known for having probably the most radically different American cut, probably of any Godzilla movie ever made. That includes the original film, that includes Godzilla 1984. I mean, the only Godzilla film that had a more drastic American cut would ironically be Godzilla 1998. So people don't know, the basic story behind this movie is that years later, when Warner Brothers acquired this movie, they were interested in making their own monster out of it. Namely, it'd be called Attack of the Fire Monster, something of that nature, Attack of the Volcano Monster, I'm not entirely sure. This version of the movie would play out very similarly. The only difference is that instead of it being Godzilla and Anguirus, they would be two brand new monsters, quote, quote, brand new monsters, who would be the exact same species of fire-type dinosaurs or whatever. And yeah, that'd be the only real major difference, although, of course, it should be noted that at the time they planned on cutting all the Japanese scenes and reshooting everything. The only thing they wanted to keep was the monster scenes. However, this plan fell through, leading to a very, very awkward version of the American version where all the Japanese scenes are cut. I mean, all the Japanese scenes are still there, however, there's a very awful dub. There's a lot of stock footage shoved in there of the classic 50s nuclear test and other weird science footage that's thrown in the beginning to try to explain the origin of Gigantus and the other monster. I'm not sure if they keep calling him Anguirus. They probably might call him something else. But, and then, of course, just the awful slaying of the name. Godzilla is now called Gigantus. And, of course, the soundtrack to try and, solidify the fact that Godzilla and Anguirus are one. They both have the same roar, instead of having their very distinctive roars, which is just pretty freaking sad. So, yeah, the American version of this movie just got awful to watch. I only could watch it one time, but then I watched it countless times with the commentary by the Godzilla experts themselves on the classic media version, and that was very entertaining. And yeah, like I said, it put a lot of insight into why the hell this version of the movie came about. And I just really wanted to get that out of the way with, because the American version is just basically unwatchable for me. I can't stand it. Fucking bad. The narration, the shitty voice acting, the random ass footage shoved in, the fucked up soundtrack, it's all so bad. Probably the worst American cut of a Godzilla movie ever made. Get that out of the way so I could focus on the Japanese version, which is definitely a superior version, no contest about it. So that said, let's get down to it, because I'll not mention the American version again after this moment. Like I said, this movie was hastily put together after the success of the 1954 film. However, it was literally only at half strength, seeing as only two of the forefathers were involved in this movie. And when I say that, I mean Ishiro Honda and Akira Kube were not involved in production at all of this movie, although they would return for the third Godzilla film, King Kong vs. Godzilla, but that would not come out for another few years. Instead, this movie only had Tomoyuki Tanaka producing, and they had Tsuburaya doing the effects. Doing the score was Masaru Satao, and to me, honestly, I like his score, although it can be a little drab at times. But this is definitely Satao's darkest score ever compared to the really campy scores he do later on, Godzilla vs. Sea Monster and Godzilla. I mean, Son of Godzilla. I mean, to me, his best score is still by far Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. That was just, the pinnacle of of silliness. That was also freaking awesome. And this is his second best to me. It's just really dark. It's really minimalist, and it's definitely not as striking as Ifikube's score from the 1954 film. Definitely nowhere near as energetic, but it still tries to capture that somber tone to it. But yeah, it's not quite the same, but it's not bad either. Shigeru Kayama provides a decent story, and this is worth noting because this is still the writer who wrote the original Godzilla movie. And he would go on to write many of the Toho science fiction hits like Rodan, Mothra, and many of the other Godzilla movies after this movie. But like I said, it's not really connected to the first one, except for a brief mention of the 1954 incident, and of course, a brief cameo by the only character from the previous film, Dr. Yamane. And this is, of course, only briefly in the beginning when it asks his opinion. I'm not going to grill the movie for this because Godzilla movies are still doing this to this day. Notice Akane's character in the Kiru films got a very brief appearance, basically one or two scenes, in Tokyo SOS, as opposed to her being a major character in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. So yeah, instead we get new characters, and they're played by some really good actors like Hiroshi